Slaughter Daughter, the badass bitch. As you were. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Slaughter Daughter house. I am Kelly Slaughter Daughter. Remus, thank you for coming. Hey, Zazel.
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. My dad's not here yet. He loves to be late and make people late.
Fashionably late, they call it.
Yes. So what have you been up to? I haven't seen you in a while.
It feels like it's been a while, but I think, we had the most epic adventure just recently, and I feel like I'm still trying to catch up on the sleep. Haven't quite caught up there yet. But yeah, you took me on a wild ride for a week in the United States. That was great fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself. I wish we could have done more. We needed more time.
I felt like we had all the time in the world and then no time at all.
Yeah, we had all the time in the world and then we didn't.
And then we were playing catch up, and then it was a race to the end. And then I feel like it was we didn't appreciate the time that we had in the beginning, and then at the end we were grabbing onto every last minute that we possibly could. And I don't mean we didn't appreciate the minute. I just think that time wasn't a factor.
Right.
Yeah, let me put you on.
Because we felt like we had all the time in the world.
Yeah, we did. And at the beginning, we did have all the time in the world, even though some of that time was me recuperating from a drunken night out and also catching up on jet lag. So I may have slept through most of one of those days.
Yes. Now, do you want to talk about the Spartan, or should we save the Savage race for? We'll have Cambry come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just for those that might be wondering how I did, I at least was able to score.
Yay!
Yes. So I survived, and my beard survived, although it does need a bit of a trim at the moment. But I've just not been bothered with anything since I got back. I've just been like chilling. That's it.
Yeah, that's good. You've been resting.
Yeah, I haven't. But I think a catch up with Cambry and I'm struggling to remember the name of the other lady that was with us. Ashley, was it? Sorry if that's not your name, Ashley. I only met you that one time, but you were great. But yeah, that'd be good to catch up with Cambry and get her take on it as well.
Yeah, I actually saw her today, and we talked about it. So. Yeah, I think she's totally game. So, all right. So let's not talk about Spartan race. So I have this awesome. Okay, so we do something really cool. I keep calling it Spartan. We do a Savage race. It was lots of fun. And then you come home, or we come to my house, and you're like, "What can I do to help?" And I was like, "You can go take a shower and." Take a shower and go to sleep and get some rest because we are getting ready to party. And we had a fantastic time. My husband made a bunch of homemade infused vodka.
Mm-hmm.
You drank the best one and don't even remember it, Cecil.
So I had 4 types of homemade vodka. The last one being that I remember. The last one I remember
infused vodka. We store-bought vodka. We just used it.
Infused with flavors at home. Yes. All right. So they don't have some sort of side business happening in their backyard.
In the garage.
Okay. They infused it. It's not what do they call that when you make your own alcohol? They call it bootlegging. They're not bootlegging, guys. Calm down. No. All right. It's just my bad terminology. Anyway, the last time I remember drinking was infused with coffee. Now, I had 2 straight up shots of that, and then I remember nothing after that at all. But I know that more party happened because I've seen photos. But that wasn't the last one that I had that was infused, because your favorite was an orange infused vodka. And that was a no-go zone. That was off the table. That was not having any of that. That's my favorite. That's not part of the party.
Put away and
You're right.
stuck in the closet. And it's orange cream. It's like a whipped orange vodka. Yeah.
So I want to preface this by saying that I didn't just go rummaging through the cupboard and start swigging at it. It was given to me, but I have no recollection of it at all. And apparently, it was the best one. So
it was the best one. I mean, but you know what? It was my favorite, but you may not have liked it because you don't like Joefest.
Yeah, orange and chocolate are no good, but I don't mind orange as a flavor. I just don't like the combination with orange and chocolate. But Jaffas are garbage.
Jaffas.
Yeah.
Jaffas. So one of the things that I love to do was take up some of your terminology.
Right.
And I love calling people a Wally.
A Wally?
A Wally?
You know what? The thing about America that got me was that because I watch a lot of American television, it didn't really faze me that there was a lot of American accents. But what it did do was highlight my own accent. Like, I was super conscious of my own accent. So whenever I was introduced to someone, I was like, okay, just don't say g'day, mate. All right. So trying to stop myself, because even now, like, I know it's a typical Aussie thing to say, but I do say it, like, just, non-ironically. We'll go, hey,
you said it to everyone.
Yeah, but I was like, and every time I did, I was like, oh, stop. Hello. Pleased to meet you. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I am listening to you. I'm trying to get my dad on here. He's like, how do I get on? Is this a different thing? No, it's the same thing.
Click the link.
We've been using. Not different.
Shall we say a quick hello to the chat while you're
yes, let's do that.
Dad?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I am not making you wait.
No, Joe Recondo was here early. I don't know if he's still here now.
He might be napping. Sleep is very important.
Blues?
What's up, Blues? How are you?
There's nobody home. Just us chicken, Buck. Look who it is.
Hey, Crash.
Legitimate legend, Crash. I had the pleasure of meeting him. We both had the pleasure of meeting him.
Yes, at Joefest. Hey, Adam.
Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, everybody.
That's Will. We got to meet Will at Joefest too, in person. I know we got to meet Adam at, I don't know why I didn't mention that. We got to meet Adam at Joefest too, but we actually got to meet Adam a bit earlier than that. No disrespect to Adam. I just feel like I've known you forever. Old buddy.
Yes.
Oh, good. Chad's here. We can start now. Yeah, we can.
Hey, Chad. Hey, Woodman.
Oh, speaking of Chad, you got a little surprise to show him later. Tune in, Chad. You're about to, your mind's going to get blown. Scuba Pete, how are you, bud?
He said he keeps putting in his email. I don't know why. I don't know.
Is he just hitting the link?
I guess.
Did you send him the right link?
I'm on the page where it says copy link. Copy link. And then I go, here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open it in Safari.
Dale's here. How are you, Dale?
Hey, Dale. I've had a crazy day, you guys. So I got up and I taught class. And it was a good one. I burned like 700 and something calories in 45 minutes. As accurate as those things are.
Oh, we got someone in there, someone ready to go. Pachow! He's only a little bit sideways. There he is.
Dad!
Hey!
You made it.
You made it.
I don't know how I made it. I'm here. I've been trying to get on here for the last 10 minutes.
Dad, you put your name, your actual name, instead of Sgt. Slaughter.
That's what it said. But it put me in. You're in the show, it says.
Yeah. You're in. It just says your real name instead of your character's name. But
what do I
fine.
do now? I can see YouTube.
I'll fix it.
Yep, that's all you need to see.
Do I need to go sideways?
Nope. Just leave it. Everything the way it is perfect. We are live.
Oh, I just lost you. There you are.
Oh.
I wonder if I can expand him a
How
little.
about this? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So we're live, Dad. Just so you
Oh,
know.
we're live.
Oh,
Hey,
and it
how's
says
everybody
Sergeant
doing?
Slaughter.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Oh, you
Anyway, is that better or worse?
That's better. That's better. Hey,
like that
how's
better?
everything? Out back.
Yeah,
You made it back, mate.
I made it back to Australia, thankfully. But yeah, it was good. It was a good catch up. And I appreciate all the time that you guys spent with me on that week. I couldn't possibly have asked for anything better. But yeah, good to be here. I wouldn't say it's good to be home, but I'm just home. I'm home. I think I'd rather still be on holiday, hanging out with all you cool dudes. Should we go quickly through the rest of the people in the chat, and then you can get into your show?
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So Dale is here.
You're out of here at 8:30. No problem.
Do I have what?
We're just reading the chats that people have come in and said hi.
Just saying hi to. That's all right.
I
have no idea what is on there. I can't.
Well, we're reading them.
Oh. Okay.
So it says
we've got this.
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
Yep. Somebody's saying hi from Atlantic City. Jewel Who 9 is saying hi, everyone.
Hello.
The best of the jewels. Forget about 1 through 8. We don't need them. Look, you just kicked the door open.
Nice. Hey, Hans. We can stop panicking. He's here. Well, we can also stop panicking because my dad finally made it too.
Speaking of legends, Adam Richards is in the house.
Hey, Adam. Adam Richards, Dad.
Where's my poster?
I have one. You didn't get one?
Uh-oh. Adam's got some explaining to do.
He stiffed me.
Unbelievable.
After dinner, I bought him and everything.
Hey, Jeff.
We caught Ratface44 is also here.
Hi.
Hello.
After Hans kicked the door in, here comes Phil with a polite hello and a little knock on the door.
And a bow.
A bow.
How about
Phil?
And have we caught up? Oh, we got another one.
Hi.
Hello.
Is that Danny? Hey, Danny.
Oh, Danny boy.
Danny?
Is it Danny? Danny's a cool guy. Is
that really Danny?
I'm going to wait for confirmation. Is that Dan the man?
We're not sure. This is great. Kelly's reactions. I don't know. Oh, it's Will. It's Will, not Danny.
Oh, okay. Your name is similar to one of my very close friends, so that's why I thought it was him.
That's right. We'll make Will a very close friend.
Thanks for coming.
Oh. And
Amy. Oh, thank you.
I told you.
I've had a day, Dad. You've had a day too. You traveled. You're in, where are you? You're in Buffalo, right?
Well, New York for the Full City Comic-Con and at the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I was on the plane. When I got on the plane in Charlotte, soon after came Lou Ferrigno, my good friend Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, nice.
Came on the plane, and we chatted for a few seconds, but we were holding up the line of people. He had just came in from L.A. and been flying since 5 a.m. He got up at 5
man
to make his connection to Charlotte. and on to Buffalo. So pretty sure he's already in bed.
Yeah, I bet. And what did I say when you texted me and told me that your friend was on the plane?
That don't make him angry.
Don't make him angry. He might rip the doors off the plane.
I can relax. I waited until he get off the plane. Followed him to
Imagine being in an airplane with Sgt Slaughter and the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
People were
mind blowing.
Nothing bad's happening on that plane.
Yeah.
Nope.
And he probably thought I was kind of a big wheel because one of my friends was a gate agent. He motioned for me to come over, and he put me on the plane first. So I was about 10 minutes before they even allowed anybody else on the plane.
Oh, VIP.
Fourth one, I was kind of getting myself situated, putting some sanitizer in my hand, the seat belts and wherever else they didn't clean. And I was reaching down, and I hear this. I thought, oh, I'm in somebody's seat. I thought I was in the right seat. I look up, and there's Lou Ferrigno, big smile on his face. Sure. Geez, Lou, I got a whole handful of sanitizer. And he said, that's okay. I'm okay. That's okay. And he just looked around and said, I better take my seat. And so he was about 3 rows in front of me.
Nice.
Yeah. So Buffalo's protected,
right,
for the weekend.
Hey, Scuba Pete.
Got the
only in America.
Hulk.
Yes.
Everything. Yeah.
Incredible Hulk and Sgt Slaughter.
Slaughter Marauder.
Are you guys both going to be at the same place this weekend? Is that why you're on the same plane, or is it different?
That's
Oh,
why you get the big bucks that are Outback.
Yeah, I'll change my name to Outback now.
Did you see the character I sent you?
Oh yeah, I saw I saw the tweet. I screenshotted the tweet that you sent out and said best friends, because only a best friend would see an action figure and say, "Is that you?" And then I knew we were best friends. I knew it. And you're wearing the Marauders T-shirt. I don't want to take over this whole stream with gushing over who's best friends with who. I better let Kelly have her show back.
Well, I do appreciate that. I almost just left and just said, "You guys can."
No.
It's fine, besties, whatever.
Did your dogs attack you when you got home, Zazel? Or you were gone for a long time?
Did who attack me?
Your dogs?
I don't have dogs.
Oh, yeah. I came home from a road trip. My dogs would always attack me, thinking I was a stranger.
If dogs attacked me, they definitely weren't mine, and they shouldn't have been here. Yeah. But no, the kangaroos came and got me. I was in a boxing match. Yeah,
need some dogs to attack you.
So, Dad, you're in an interesting mood today.
I am. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a good weekend. It's the 4th of July coming up.
Oh, true.
Yes.
Independence Day. Yeah.
Nice.
What were you thinking? What were you just asking me?
So we were just talking about, what were we talking about, Zazel? The party.
Yeah.
We had
big American party.
You couldn't come to, Dad, unfortunately.
I missed the party. Yeah.
Too bad, but we did party at Joefest, but we'll get to that later. So
I think out of the 3 of us, one of us partied most. And I think it's the center person knows how to party.
Yes. He was having a great time.
The lips are sealed. Yeah. Say no more.
We're thinking about not only having a breakfast with Sarge next year, but having late night was served.
I think that's where the real entertainment is. There was so much happening. I didn't know where to look.
Yeah, we were telling some great stories.
Yes.
Father Nelson appeared.
Oh, Dad, I hate that so much. I hate it. I hate when you do Father Nelson.
Oh, man. All right. Stop.
All right. Okay. So we were talking about this party at my house, Dad.
Yeah. Mm.
The one where your guest didn't get up till like 3 days later.
It was a big one.
Making some of his famous vodka drinks.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We had a great time at the party. There was lots of alcohol involved and food. I had this whole, like, all these American foods. I had cheeseburgers with American cheese. I had, which is awful, by the way. I would never put that on my burger normally.
Right.
It's only good for grilled cheeses. Anyway, I digress. I had mac and cheese, which Cambry made, and it was delicious. It was like homemade, like with like flat. She like made a roux and then like made a cheese sauce and like this whole thing. Absolutely delicious. Anyway, all these American foods. Apple pie. I had a flag. One of my friends made a trifle, and they made an American flag on top. All sorts of American things, right? Guess what Zazel's favorite dish was from? Huh?
Hot dogs?
No, he didn't eat any of it.
I'm sure I must have. Did I have none of it?
Yeah, never ate it.
Well, let me ask you, Zazel, what do you remember eating?
I definitely tried the barbecue that Derek made.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I can't remember.
Much about that whole. I don't think.
Phil knows. Eating is cheating.
It's all around. You know, it's scuttlebutt everywhere. I mean, they're all talking about it yet over in South Carolina.
The party?
About the party and the guests that wouldn't leave.
Not only would I not leave, but I got locked outside and couldn't get back in.
One, go to bed.
The party was over, right? He was having such a good time. The party's over. Everybody's gone. It's just my husband and Zazel and another guy. And they're outside. And so I walk out there. And I'm like, I've like locked up the back door. I've shut all the lights off outside. Like everything's like shut down, cleaned up. I'm like, well, I'm going to go to bed. I'm looking around. I'm like, where's Zazel? And Derek was like, I don't know. And he's around the side of the house. And I'm like, well, what's he doing back there? And Derek's like, he fell.
Oh, no.
Did not.
And I'm like, he did? And he's like, yeah. Well, I can tell when my husband's just like ribbing me or whatever. So, and then you shout out from the darkness, I'm here, or whatever you said. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And then we just talking. And then Zazel still doesn't come out of the darkness. And so I'm like, everything okay? Over there? Like, did you really? I think I even asked my husband, I was like, did he really fall? And like, he's just laying there. And my husband was like, no, he's not. And I was like, okay. And I don't hear anything. You finally didn't respond to me because I think I called out to you a couple times. And then one time you just didn't respond. So I'm like, oh, I bet he went in the backyard and is trying to get in the house from the back, but it's all dark and locked up. So I walked through the house and there you were standing like this. On the other side of the sliding glass door. You were like really close to it. It was all dark and all I see is like Zazel. Just like,
oh,
is somebody gonna let me in?
You locked me out. Oh man.
That was a good time. That was a good time. So I let you in, and I was
Thank
like,
you.
Go to bed. And you said, I am.
I am. Good idea.
I heard rumor that when you first arrived to Kelly's barracks there, that Derek tied a piece of chopped liver around your neck so the dogs would play with you.
Sarge is in a friendly mood today, isn't he?
What'd you say?
I said, was that true?
No.
Was that no?
I don't have dogs. I do have attack cats, though.
Oh, that's
do I not, Cecil?
Yeah, it was the cats. It wasn't liver though. I wasn't good enough for liver. It was just fatty meat.
Vegemite.
Vegemite, yeah.
Vegemite.
Well, did you have anything that you liked eating when you were in the States?
Well, the one thing that I did try that I'd never had before and always wanted to try, and Kelly does it amazingly, although I don't have anything to go off of because I've never tried it anywhere else. But Kelly made biscuits and gravy. I was like, oh, I always want to try biscuits and gravy because you watch John Wayne movies. He's always like, slap some bacon on a biscuit or, whatever. I was like, if John Wayne likes biscuits, I'm going to love biscuits. And Kelly made some amazing biscuits and gravy. And I think after the next day, I was like, hey, you got any more of that biscuits and gravy? That stuff was great.
Yes.
Does do a good biscuits and gravy. Both her sister and her mother do.
Right. I did meet.
I don't know who taught it.
I met Kelly's mum at the party, although I don't remember much of that. But then I saw her the next morning. I came out in my full pajamas, hungover, and your mum is there, and she's like, "Oh, so what's the time difference between America and Australia?" And I'm like, "Oh God, a question." I was like, if it's 2 o'clock now, then it must be 12 o'clock then. I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not really sure. I'm not making a very good impression here. But
look it up on your cell phone.
Yeah, look it up. No, she was lovely. She was just trying to make conversation, but I was clearly in no capacity able to.
So that kind of brings me to a point, actually, where so the party's over, everyone leaves, we go to sleep, and then I wake up and I look at my phone, and there's a message from somebody that we all know. I don't know if he wants me to say whether or not who it was who sent me the message or not, so I won't say. But I get a message, and it's a screenshot of Lacey Evans. And she's got the campaign cover, and it's got the Cobra, and I already knew she'd been using the Cobra clutch. And I'm getting mad now. My heart is racing.
Uh-oh. Just breathe through it.
I think in maybe 30 seconds, I'm going to get an alert on my watch that says, your heart is racing. And I lost my shit. I was pissed. And so I was like, everyone's asleep. I don't have anyone to bounce this off of, nothing. So I send out a tweet. I post some stuff on social media, and I really didn't think that much of it, except that when I was writing it, I said, this really isn't the right word I want to use, but I can't think of the word that I want to use. It doesn't freaking matter. I'm just gonna send it out. So I sent it out.
What?
And then I went back to bed. And I don't have on my phone, I do not get any notifications except for texts and Messenger, because I feel like Messenger is like texting for people that don't have my phone number. So I get no notifications for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, nothing. I have to actually go into the app and look, right? And also on my Facebook, I have like 3 different accounts besides my own personal one. And my personal one is the one that I go in all the time. I don't always check the other ones. So I can't remember how much time had passed, but then I finally like went in and I was like, oh, I have 20 notifications. That's a lot of notifications. And so then I look,
Dad's bailed. He doesn't want to have any part of this. He's out. No. Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
He's back. He's back.
You're back.
What happened?
I don't know. But I'm glad you're here, Dad.
Just what?
So I look and I was like, oh yeah, I did tweet that out. So then there was like this whole like, basically I went down my own rabbit hole because then I was like, what is going on? Oh my God. And you know, all this stuff. So it definitely blew up a lot more than I thought it was going to, because I really was just mad and tweeting something and posting it on social. Like I didn't think it was going to go anywhere because I said stuff before about it and it's never gone anywhere. So yeah, that was interesting.
Well, you don't have alerts. You don't have alerts on your phone, but I can tell you my phone was blowing up, right? Because people who knew me and know you know that I'm staying at your place. So I'm getting all of these messages, people sending me links going, is this happening right now? What's the deal with this? What do you know? What have you heard? And I'm just like trying to recover. I'm like, oh God, what has she done?
What did she do this time?
What has she done? So I go downstairs and just very calmly, I'm like, got a bit heated last night, did you? Oh, you've seen that. I think everyone's seen it. At one point, if you were Googling Lacey Evans, the first things that come up in the suggested on Google is all Kelly Slaughter daughter remix this and Kelly that, and Slaughter daughter, makes comment on Twitter. It was everywhere. There was nothing just specific to Lacey Evans. It was all this feud, this beef that was happening, and it was from my perspective, mind-blowing to see it happening in the moment and to see your look as you sit down and you're looking, oh, what's going to be my rebuttal? And just to stare over at you across the table as you're like, oh, thinking. I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting here watching this go down. This is great.
At one point you go, Kelly, so Chris Jericho has shared this. And I was like, oh my fuck. Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, Chris Jericho.
Chris
Jericho. So every time something happened, so what's that, Sarge?
Heard your thing? Oh, really?
Yes, a lot of people did.
Oh, people I know?
Probably. Who's Lacey Evans, Hans?
Uh-oh.
I always put Lacey who?
Lacey who? Yeah. I don't know who she is. I don't think WWE knows who she is. They've tried a lot with her, and I don't have a lot to really say her. Yeah. So anyway, so then I'm like, well, so Cecil, do you think I should respond? And you were like, yes.
I just want to say, I won't say some of the things you were going to say, but some of the ones I was like, okay, that you need to just pull it back a little bit. You're heated here. You're a little bit angry. I think we can reword this. But I think in the end, though, I think you came back with some pretty good rebuttals that weren't going to get you into any strife.
Right. Well, there was a lot more that I wanted to say too, but then Sheik died, and I was like, you know what? That's more important, and that's all. So I just kind of let it die. But here's the thing. I think it would be a wonderful thing for me to get in the ring and take my family legacy back. However, I I mean, I can't just go in and be like, this is what I'm doing. I mean, there's like a whole team of writers and like a whole team of people that like comes up with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I also don't know how to wrestle. That might be a little bit of an issue. And as much as here recently in the past, like 3 years, I would say, where I'm like, I should get into wrestling. I could totally freaking do that. Whereas before I really wasn't sure I could, but because of my new passion for fitness and working out and being fit, I'm like, you know what? I could actually do this. I am actually an athlete, and I do have my dad's blood in me, and I could go in there and kick some serious fucking ass. But I would never do that unless I had that man's blessing. Oh yeah, I totally know how to kick ass for sure. So, Dad.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me just step out for a second.
Why don't I have your blessing?
Oh, I didn't say you didn't have my blessing. Who told you that?
Well, you never really seem very keen, to use one of Zazel's words. You don't seem very keen to have me wrestle.
I, like any father that is watching this or is a father around the world or has been a father around the world, couldn't be more proud of you for saying what you did. My character, your dad, our family, you're just not going to take it. And that's the way your mother and I taught you and your sister. Don't take any shit from anybody because you don't have to.
Right.
Somebody, I get every day, every 10 minutes, I get, oh, he didn't serve in the army.
Stolen valor.
It wasn't in the army. Get your facts straight. In Marines, okay? And then another one will come in. Stolen valor. She was a Marine. You should let her. Okay, all right. It just.
Well, here's the thing, Dad. If she wants to play up the fact that she was a Marine and she was a badass freaking Marine, then I think she should absolutely do that. Like, go for it. I mean, you were a freaking Marine. You served our country, and I love that. That wasn't where my issue was. And so for everyone that kept coming in and saying that, it was like, this is getting old because you don't know what you're freaking talking about.
Yeah, because you were never disrespecting her military background. You were never disrespecting the fact that she was a Marine. That's not an issue. In fact, that's, thank you for everything that you've done for the country. Yeah. You weren't saying anything about the military service stuff. No. It was the gimmick stuff, the blatant gimmick stuff.
And I do realize that, like, part of the gimmick for Sgt Slaughter was that Sgt Slaughter was a Marine and he was a drill instructor. So, like, I get when I'm saying, like, I'm talking about the gimmick and people are like, and they just want to hold on to this, like, one thing. And it's like, if you let that go, because we're not worried about it, like, this is what I'm talking about. Not talking about that part. I'm talking about the campaign cover. I called it a hat because I was on Twitter and I was like, I only get so many characters on this thing and I don't really know how this whole thing works. So I just, I do, people out there, I do realize it's called a campaign cover. I get it. I'm sorry. I used the wrong vernacular. Okay.
Also called the brown round.
Okay. I didn't call it either one of those things. I called it a hat. What is a hat? It's a article of clothing that you wear on your head. Okay. What is a campaign cover? It's also an article of clothing that is worn on your head. Okay. I think we all knew what the fuck I was talking about when I said hat. Okay. So
There it comes.
She's the one who brought up the whole "I'm a real Marine," which I don't think she should have said. Yeah, you're a real Marine, but it's playing off the whole stolen valor. You weren't a real Marine. And I really think that was disrespectful for the business, really, because it's breaking kayfabe. By the way, Dad, let's talk about some wrestling terms, because there's wrestling terms that I don't know what they mean, and there's wrestling terms that I do know what it means. So, kayfabe. What does kayfabe mean for people that don't know?
That means, well, that's something I probably shouldn't divulge because that's a secret between the wrestlers.
Right. That's kayfabe. That's what kayfabe means.
What kayfabe is. But unless you've been in the locker room, and these days, I don't even hear the word anymore. But when I was in a locker room and somebody came in that didn't belong there, the word kayfabe went out. It's kind of like a warning to everybody that is in that squared circle or has ever been in that squared circle or is heading to that squared circle. That's a term that was used in the early days of professional wrestling. And it's a term that just means be alert. And there's, it's almost like
it's like keeping up with your, if you're saying kayfabe, it's because you and Iron Sheik are like having a nice talk and talking as friends because you were friends, and it's like, kayfabe, you better stop doing that because there's a fan back here that doesn't know you guys are friends, and you got to keep it up like you guys are enemies.
Right. Kayfabe is just as a warning sign, and it lets you know that someone's in the room that doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be there.
That isn't smart to the business.
Right. Isn't smart to the business. Exactly.
Okay. So what is a gimmick?
A gimmick is something that you might put in your trunks to use your opponent, or it could be something that you put in your boot and you tap your toe and this
it's loaded.
slides down into your toe and you can use it as a weapon. Everybody knows it's in there except for the referee. And gimmicks are also things that some people that haven't really been in the business that should have the right to say gimmick is products that are at a show like the Comic-Con, like Joefest. The table was full of gimmicks, they say. That pictures and T-shirts and action figures. That's what they call gimmick or product. A gimmick can also be a wrestler because he's not very good. Who you wrestle tonight to get good luck. Gimmick can mean a whole lot of things.
So when people are talking about your gimmick or Hulk Hogan's gimmick or, Roman Reigns' gimmick, Rock's gimmick, what are they referring to?
They're referring to their character. The Rock had a gimmick of doing this crisscross the ring over his opponent and then stop and do this crazy looking elbow.
People's elbow, right?
People's elbow. And Pat Patterson and I and Gerald Briscoe, we go, he's got the gimmick going. His gimmick is people's elbow. And we just kept telling him, keep doing that. Keep doing that. Rock would, the Rock was in the locker rooms with me when you were, Kelly, when you were a young girl. You probably don't remember seeing him because you don't remember that far back. But you were my daughter, and he was Rocky's son. And so we would take our kids to work once in a while, or be someplace where we were closer. And so he was in that locker room, and we used to, teach him. We never thought he'd ever become a wrestler. His grandfather was a wrestler, and dad, pretty good wrestler, Rocky Johnson. And we just didn't know where he was heading, because as he got older, as I don't know if a lot of people saw his show, The Young Rock, his love was football. That's what he wanted to play, was football. And he just ran into the obstacles all the way through it. And then he finally had enough of it and came down and said it to his dad, "I want to be a wrestler." And he watched, and but when he finally came out, nobody liked him, nobody cheered him, nobody booed him. They didn't care about him. They tried different characters, and finally got into a place where he a bunch of guys that were, like a gang of guys, black guys, get what they called their group. But when he would leave the ring, because he did most of the talking for the group, people started to clap and say, "Hey, that was pretty damn good, kid." And week after week, he started getting more people enjoying that. They wanted to hear him. He was very clever. A lot of that wasn't written. It was all what that lived. And so he would come up and go through the curtains into the gorilla position, and I'd be standing there, and I said, "Do you hear those people, Rock?" He goes, "What?" I said, "They like you. You hear them? They're rumbling. Even now you're in here, they're rumbling like, gosh, I hope he comes back, and does some more tonight. Or is that all we're going to see him?" He goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah. You don't hear that? You don't feel that? I mean, that's what you try to do to your audience. You're an entertainer. You're trying to get as much out of them as you can, and you want them to leave wanting you to come back." So eventually he started catching on, because after a month I go, "Now you're hearing them, Rock?" He goes, "Yeah, they're cheering. They're kind of like cheering." I said, they love you. They love your character. They love your entertaining them. You got it. Just take your time. Whether you want to be a hero, or if you want to stay a villain, you can't stop it. Whatever they want you to be is what you got to be. You can't. If they want you to be the hero, you got to go that way. You can't stop that. You've already caused that. So he just had he found it, and look where he's at. I mean,
he's doing amazingly well for himself, that's for sure. And he lives in Hawaii, and I would love to live there.
He came up with a character, the gimmick, the elbow pad, the people's elbow on the people's pad on the people's elbow. And when he started thinking about it, he crisscrossed, and to put more emphasis in it, he'd pull off his elbow pad so he could land up harder, and then they throw it to the crowd, and those people would fight to their death to get that elbow pad. And I said, that's it, man. Another example, the challenge coin. How many Cobra clutches did you get, Zazel?
I got one right here. One of many.
There's a challenge coin. The Sgt Slaughter Cobra Clutch Club challenge coin. And that's what I brought to Joefest, for people to get something more, because I love them. I love them.
And they're actually super nice. They're great quality. They're heavy.
Oh, yeah. These are brilliant.
You only can get it if you get a Cobra clutch.
Right.
And that's the only way you get one. Though you can't buy him. You can't buy the Sarge. You can't buy his challenge coin. You have to earn.
Right.
I earned it. I'm thankful. I couldn't tap out because I passed out because your Cobra Clutch is so effective. I passed out 3 times, but I survived and woke up with a challenge coin in my hand.
Right. Know what you did even more than anybody else?
What's that? Shit myself.
Yeah. You took 3 Sgt Slaughter Cobra Clutches.
Oh, yeah.
A Slaughter daughter Cobra Clutch.
Oh, Kelly.
Was that a little bit stiffer than mine?
Kelly's really locks in there. You ask anyone that got a Cobra Clutch from Kelly, that either unlocked an injury you didn't know you had, or it popped it back in and fixed it for you. That was rough.
What can I say? I learned from the best, Dad, and at least I know how to put it on, unlike some that use it. Anyway, so Dad, would you say that your gimmick is what? What is your gimmick? Your gimmick is the Cobra Clutch, the campaign cover.
Is a drill instructor.
Right.
Marine drill instructor.
Yes.
That's my gimmick. And that's the only time I'm not Sgt Slaughter is when I walk into my home.
Right.
That's when I stop being Sgt Slaughter, because
well, that's because when you leave, everyone calls you Sarge and knows you as Sarge.
So I have to respond. People, what should we call you? Robert, Bob? I say Sarge. That way, when you say Sarge, I know who you're talking to. There's a lot of Bobs out there. Only one Sarge.
Yeah.
In that room,
There's not a lot of people that call you Bob, and it's a very small amount of people that call you Bob, that have the privilege to know you as you and not as the character.
Yeah.
Which that must be exhausting, Dad.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're always on. You know what I mean? Like every time you leave the house, you always are on,
Yep. And that's what people don't understand is I'm Sarge 24/7. I only live it because you call me Sarge and you want me to be Sarge. Well, when I get inside my home, the last thing Diane Remus wants to look at is Sgt Slaughter. You don't want that guy around.
Dad, somebody asked me for a picture of me and you, but they wanted you as Sarge. And I was like, I actually don't have any pictures of me and my dad as the gimmick. I don't have that. And because he's not the gimmick when he's around us. And so I finally got one at Joefest.
You want me to pull it up?
Yes.
Me.
What did Chad say?
Oh yeah, so there's two ones here that I want to read out to you. So Chad says, "Gimmick my ass. Sarge was the measure. I put every army drill sergeant I ever counted up against." So Chad, being someone who is in the military, he obviously doesn't care. The gimmick side of it isn't a bother, and I think we can appreciate that from Chad absolutely. Yeah. And then Han says, Sarge's gimmick is being a modern-day legend. The man, the wrestler, and the Joe have merged into a synergistic amalgamation, dude, thanks for that, of stern demeanor, kindness, generosity, charisma, and energy. Our true hero. Hear, hear.
Yes, hear, hear.
Well,
so thank you both.
Because he said armies. He was in
the army.
Army is
right, yeah.
Marines are drill instructors.
Right, but Chad joined the army, and even though there was a military difference between the army and the Marines, he still measured up where he was as up against the G.I. Joe, real American hero, head to toe.
Slaughter.
If
they weren't as mean as you, he said they were bullshit.
Yeah. And he's saying that Sarge was always a model of a drill instructor to me, no matter. There you go. Yeah. On you, Chad.
So, and the thing is, yeah, there we go. So finally, we've got a picture of me and my dad. It only took 44 years me and Sarge to get a picture together. There we go. There is a picture of me dressed up like you for Halloween, and I can't find it, Dad.
Oh. Well, your mother was dressed up like me for Halloween one time, too.
Yes, she was. And you were Big Bertha. You were Sarge's sister.
He wanted to say her, and I was Big Bertha, her sister.
Yes. Yeah, so there's finally, we got a picture of me and my, and Sarge, I should say.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the whole stolen valor is like a real thing. Like, people go out there and live and like try to get, and maybe even get VA loans, discounts anywhere possible. Like, they have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a real thing. And I don't feel like what you do is considered that, but I'm also your daughter and I never served, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I just feel like it's two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's almost, I don't know. It's a real thing that people go out there and do. In fact, I knew someone who was married to a guy who was in the military, and he was injured. He got hurt, and like this whole thing. And they were trying to buy a house and get a VA loan. They were trying to have kids. They were doing all this thing. And then come to find out, he was never in the military. He wasn't like even in like ROTC, and they ended up getting a divorce. Cause I mean, that's like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is.
Yeah. When I go to stores, you know, I should probably say the names like Home Depot, Lowe's, and places like that. Were you in the military? And I go, who are you talking to? And they'd say, you, Sarge, were you in the military? Yeah. And they say, oh, discount. No. No, I don't want any discount. I try to stay in character, and not, they don't understand why I went. I just say, let some other, you know, buddy take that.
Well, when they ask people to stand up, like we were at my niece's, your granddaughter's high school graduation, and they asked all people that had ever served in our military to stand up, you didn't stand up.
No, I didn't.
No. So
right there.
Yeah. So it's, you know, I think you don't answer like that now, though, do you? When people say, or did you serve in the military? You say no, right?
Did Sgt Slaughter serve in the military? Yes.
Did you? Right. Sgt Slaughter served in the military, but Robert Remus did not.
Right. Are you at?
So from a fan perspective, let me tell you, right? There is no real fan of Sgt Slaughter that that doesn't understand the difference between the whether it be G.I. Joe or wrestling and real life, right? We fully accept that there's a disconnect there. We know that he wasn't really in the military, Robert Remus. We know that, but we believe Sgt Slaughter was in the Marines, but we also believe Sgt Slaughter was in G.I. Joe. You know, we can make a disconnect between those two things. So we know Sgt Slaughter as a G.I. Joe. We know Sgt Slaughter as the hardened drill instructor from WWE. And when they say Sarge was in the Marines, we know Sarge was in the Marines. We don't then think that the person who's portraying Sarge was also in the Marines. You believe what you believe as far as the characters are concerned. And if there's anyone that has an issue with Sgt Slaughter, then I can tell you they're not a fan of professional wrestling. They're not a fan of the classic wrestling. They're not a fan of Sgt Slaughter. And all they are internet trolls that feel like they have to, blow the horn and say, stolen valor, whatever. Nobody here in the chat, or nobody that comes to you for a Cobra Clutch, or nobody that watches G.I. Joe or wrestling is thinking anything negative about anything that ever happened. It's just a part of who the Sarge is. That's it.
Right.
It's a long-winded way of saying it.
What really boggles my mind is from the time that Sgt. Slaughter was created until this afternoon at the airport in Buffalo, people come up to me and say, "Hey, Sgt. Slaughter, thanks for you're the reason I joined the military. You're the reason I joined the Marines. You're the reason I joined the Air Force or the Navy. And you're the reason." Now, that's a honor for me to have my character, have them so
inspired
as to join the military and serve their country, and to love their country enough to serve it and to die for it. That makes me feel pretty damn good. I mean, and I've had recruits.
It's patriotism. You love your country.
Right. I've had recruits come up to me at shows and wrestling matches and say, "You should be a recruiter." Instead of, we could put you in an office and we'd have more military people we'd know what to do with. And it's, unfortunately, some my friends died. My relatives died in the war. They were in the military.
My cousin Benjamin Kopp, Kopp, you can Google him. He was an Army Ranger, and he told you that you were one of the reasons. His dad was also wasn't Dwayne in the Army? His dad was in the Army. My grandfather was in the Marine, or my grandfather was in the military, and on his mother's side, his grandfather, so her dad, was in the military. So it was a culmination, but he came to you and told you that. Right. And he lost his life fighting.
He wrote me a letter, and I'm trying to find it. I wanted to have it for the show they're doing, but I can't find it. He's just going to start. He wrote me letters when he was younger, and now he's getting older, and he kind of not knowing what to do, but he wrote me a letter and said, "I'm going to join the military." And I didn't respond to it. I just figured he was telling me that. I don't know if he was looking to say, "Okay, do it." I don't do it. If you want to go to the Air Force, do it. You don't have to ask me to do it.
Right.
But
so
proud if you do. I mean, if you had nothing else going on.
Well, I think 9/11 was a big inspiration to him as well. When 9/11 happened, I think that really was the catalyst that made him, he'd been wanting to do it. And he acted like a soldier when he was little. He had pretended, and just like my son does. And I think when 9/11 happened, that was the catalyst where he was like, "That's it. I'm joining the Army. I want to be a Ranger." Anyway, he lost his life fighting for our country, and it was absolutely devastating. So, but what?
Saved a lot of lives.
He saved a lot of lives. Not only did he save his brothers by diverting fire away from them. They'd been under fire of the Taliban in Afghanistan for how long? I mean, it'd been 20 hours or something like that. They'd been laying, not able to move, because every time they tried to move, they got shot at.
Right.
And so Ben got up and ran and was firing the gun and ran and took the fire away from his friends, and they got away. And Ben got shot.
That I've had enough. I'm going down there. Other army.
I can't hear what you're saying, Dad. You got to like speak louder or something.
What at his funeral and things like that, a lot of people told me about him and what happened that day and that what going on and how he just finally had enough and he said, "You guys go. I'm going this way and I'm gonna give you cover. Get out of here," because they've got the FBI guy that they wanted to get. We might as well, we got out of here. That's what we came here for. So he gave up his life basically to get those 2 FBI guys, or how many there were, and all of his friends,
Rangers, yeah,
the other Rangers, and he did that. I mean, and not thinking about dying. He was just tired of it, and he wanted to get it done with. And so he's a hero.
Yes.
Well,
he got shot, and then it took them a while to get to him because they were under fire. So every time they tried to get to Ben, they were getting shot at. So they finally get to Ben. I mean, there's been books written about this. You can search him and see it. So Benjamin Kopp, Kopp. So he then gets out of there. He's been shot in the leg. It's got a tourniquet or whatever. He goes to Germany. They sew him up in Germany, and then he goes into cardiac arrest. At some point between the field and Germany, I'm not really clear. I'm not sure 100%, but he goes into cardiac arrest. He's in a coma, and they send him over to the United States where he was at Walter Reed in, is that in Arlington or, it's in the DC area. So, then we get the call, and we know what's going on. And my uncle, his dad, is there by himself. He doesn't have anyone else. Ben's mom was there with her family. So I went up to Walter Reed, and I got to be with Ben, and he was brain dead. So they had to make the decision to pull the plug. And he was an organ donor. So not only did he save the lives of countless people on the field, his heart beats in someone else. Think of his liver, his kidneys maybe too, Dad. I don't.
Everything.
Yeah. And then improve the quality from like skin grafts and things like that, tissue that they were able to get for him also. So an incredible man.
I met the lady who got his heart, received his heart. I put my hand, I said, "Do you mind if I put my hand on his chest to feel his heartbeat?"
There's something to be said about the camaraderie of people in the military, and it's a brotherhood and a sisterhood. It's a family. And I got it, but I didn't really get it until I was in Walter Reed, and there were people coming from. One guy drove 17 hours because he heard about Ben, and he heard about what Ben did. And he drove 17 hours nonstop to walk into Ben's hospital room, salute him, tell him thank you, and leave. I mean, people were just... Jeff Struker, I don't know if anybody knows anything about like Black Hawk Down or that whole thing, but Jeff Struker, he was portrayed in that movie Black Hawk Down, and he was one of Ben's heroes. So he came to the hospital. He was on leave and came off leave early because he heard about Ben, and he came and he prayed with us over Ben's bedside. The outpouring of love and gratitude, and just because they all know that that could have been them in that hospital bed. And there was a family across the way, and their child was like, had something going on with it, I'm not sure, and it was just a baby. And so they were in there at Walter Reed because it was a VA hospital, and he wrote a letter to Ben thanking him. So he was a hero 100% in so many different ways. So that's my cousin Ben. Anyway, I don't know why I went off on that tangent. And I'm
thank you for doing
crying.
All backs up to stolen valor.
Yes.
Why people think I stolen valor? I don't understand it, because I've got more people to join the military than probably most people.
Yeah.
Just by my character. So I don't know what stolen valor is. You know, when I go on radio shows, when I go on a TV show, when I'm on this show, and I'm Sgt Slaughter, I talk about where Sgt Slaughter fought in, Vietnam, and whatever that character was created from. That's the character. When they say, "Oh, he said he was in Vietnam," Bob Remus wasn't in Vietnam. That's stolen valor or whatever. I said, well, that wasn't that wasn't Bob Remus telling that story. That was Sgt Slaughter telling that story.
Right.
Right.
Two DJs they're listening to the stories, and they're so involved in it, they're gripping onto the desk and scratching, and they're going crazy, and very wrestling Sgt Slaughter fans. And I was, Sgt Slaughter all the way to them. They were like going crazy. They loved it.
Is that what they would be considered a mark?
Be a Zerk.
Me as Ark.
Be a Zerk. Yeah.
A mark. Yeah. Somebody that's like a true fan, right? They don't know they don't realize that there's this, they're not smart to the business.
Right. And they're the ones I love the most. I love the most because, I mean, they believe so much that I got stabbed 4 times. 4 times I got stabbed. I got hit over with chairs going in and out of the ring. A couple of times it buckled my knees. And back then we didn't have security. We were our own security. You never left a wrestling match or a show. If you were the first match, you were the last one to leave. I mean, that's the way we protect. I've been maced more times than I can tell you. It's thrown in my eyes, thrown on me. I mean, those people believed that character when I was the villain so much that they wanted to do that to this character. I mean, that means you're doing your job pretty damn well. When you look around.
Well, I have to say, Dad, that it was not long after I sat at Ben's bedside that you and I were looking up promos of you from when you were the Iraqi sympathizer.
Uh-oh.
And you had me heart racing. You were sitting and I was standing at the computer, and it was a very long time ago. So, and I looked at you and I was like, I just want to punch you in the face right now. How dare you? You know what I mean? I was so mad at you. I turned to you and I said, Dad, I get it now. I get why people wanted to kill us, why they wanted to kill you. I get it now because I want to kill you right now. And I'm your daughter, and I'm totally like marking out right now because I want to kill you. So like I get it. I mean, it's a little crazy to actually like try to go through with those things, but I got it. I got it because I wanted to kill you in that moment.
With the fun, that was the art. That is the art. And the fun of being an entertainer and playing a role. Trying to, you know, it's just, you're an artist in a canvas, square, circle, canvas. All it. Audio.
Dad, your audio is going in and out. It's hard to follow what you're saying.
Sorry.
Okay.
I talk so much.
Well, I think what's happening is it's like the way you're talking, and so the mic keeps cutting out, thinking you're done. You know what I mean? Like it's blotchy. So just try to talk louder or something.
Okie dokie.
That is loud and clear. So just keep talking.
But anyway, that was the fun, the art of, ad-libbing everything. I never had a script that I had to memorize or anything like that. Nobody told me I had to put my shoulders down for 1, 2, 3. Nobody told me I had to give up to somebody that couldn't lace my boots. But it's all changed now, and there's reasons, but I won't go into all that. But while I was in it, for the time I was in it, it was the greatest. I don't know how it is today because I'm not in it. I mean, I'm not in the ring. I'm not in the arena. I'm watching it. And I wonder if they're having as much fun as I did, doing what they're doing, or if it's a job. I never wanted to go to work. I just wanted to entertain. People say, when are you going to retire? And I said, from what? What do you mean, from what? I said, retired. I've been retired since I got into professional wrestling. What I love, love it.
Right. You never work a day in your life if you love what you do.
No, I'm away from home, and I can't hardly walk. I'm sick. So I had to dive out of the ring, underneath the ring, and puke my guts out, wipe off as good as I could, and get back in the ring, finish the match. I mean, I wrestled with my leg was taped. I taped my boot on. I couldn't lace my boots because it hurt too much. So I just taped my boot on my hand to my foot. But that's what I did to entertain. That's what I did for a living, And if you didn't get in the ring, you didn't get paid. So you had to. That's the way it was.
Dad, you got gangrene and almost lost your leg because of wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
If there had to take me to the hospital, I probably would have lost my leg. Yeah.
Right.
I got home about 3:00 in the morning in Louisiana. Somebody kicked me in my shin, and it was a fan kicked me with like a cowboy boot or a combat boot with a steel toe or something. Dang, that hurt. And so I drove like 300 miles, and every time I'd stop to get something to eat or drink or get some gas, I could hardly walk on it, and it got worse and worse. Finally, I got home, and I said, "Well, I'm not going to go to bed with Diane because she might roll over and kick me, and just it would be too. I would scream." So I laid put my leg up on the coffee table and laid on the couch trying to get some sleep. And she got up and came in and said, "What are you doing out here?" And I said, "Well, I got kicked." She said, "Well, how bad is it?" And I said, "Well, it's not too bad." She said, "Well, let me see it." And I said, "Oh, it's okay." And I had a pair of pants on that you could roll up really easy, So I pulled up my leg, and she went, "Oh my God!" we got to go to the hospital. And so I said, no, it's okay. She said, no. So we got to the hospital at like 4 in the morning. And Nikki was 2 years old or so then. And so
no, you were older, Dad, because we lived in Connecticut when this happened, because I remember.
This was Louisiana. That probably was another time.
Oh, because you couldn't get up the stairs to your bedroom. My parents basically had like their own like house, and then there was like they had their own wing, and it was like a living room and everything on this one side.
Fancy.
Their house or their bedroom was in a loft, so you had to go upstairs, and it was in the loft above like this area where their bedroom was, and he couldn't get up the stairs to go to bed. But that was a different story. That was a different time.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we didn't know where hospitals were around there. And I said, oh, Diane, I remember there was a hospital sign. So we get in there, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We get little Nikki, 2 years old or so, and we're in the waiting room. There's nobody there. And finally just our information. I told her what was wrong. And so the doctor finally came in and said, okay, let's go in the room over here. And he looks at my leg and he goes, oh my God, we don't have time for anesthesia. He yelled at his nurse, and she gave him a scalpel, and he said, here, threw a pencil or something, and I bit on it, and he gaffed my leg, and pushed on it, and all this pus or whatever came flying. He said, do you have pain in your groin? I said, yeah. He said, Jesus, I hope we got this out in time. He said, you've got gangrene or something, whatever's in there. And your mother's like, oh my God. She's watching all of this. And so we get all fixed up, and we go to leave, and the doctor says, can I ask you, what you do for a living? I said, I'm a professional wrestler. Duh. Do you have any idea what hospital you're at? Said, no, we don't know. He said, well, this is a state hospital. And when we asked you for your insurance or whatever, yours went through. Usually we don't get insurances that go through for my patients. And usually all we treat is gunshots and knife wounds.
Oh.
And he was just shocked that this couple came, little baby, and had insurance, and,
right.
And we paid for our bill, and off we went. And he told me, don't wrestle on that for a couple of days. Okay, doctor. So I call the promoter, and I said, I'm not supposed to wrestle. He said, well, can't you just be there? Can't you just... You don't have to wrestle. Just can you be, because they want to see you. So I told Diana, I got to go to the show. She said, well, you better not get in the ring. No, I won't. So I got there, and I showed the guy. I said, gave me these pills so I can stop the bleeding and all the poison that was in me. All that. Oh, okay, great. Can you just walk out to the ring and do this?
Oh, no.
He didn't care. But at least they got there, But that's the kind of things that you went through to put, food on the table for your family. So I wasn't Sgt Slaughter then. I was just Bob Slaughter.
Bob Slaughter.
Right.
Oh, you mean when you were wrestling, you weren't wrestling as Sgt Slaughter. You were Bob Slaughter.
Right.
Gotcha.
I've only been probably a year and a half at that. The beautiful Bobby just put the mothballs after the guy blew a kiss at me.
Right. That was not the look that you were going for.
Thanks for that graphic story, though, Sarge. I appreciate that.
What I had, so. But anyway, it's people see me at shows. In fact, your mother asked me today, Kelly, on the way to the airport. She said,
just remember we're live and we can't edit this.
Right.
Okay. I never know.
Thanks for
what
last.
Mom would have said.
Anytime, I'll be back on Monday. And so anyway, I'm walking out of the house, and she says, "Bob, I don't know how you do it. You're limping, your back hurting." Yeah, I said, everything hurts, Diane. Everything hurts. 75 years old, and she said, "Well, when are you going to retire? Why don't you think about retiring?" I said, "From what?" I said, when I get to the airport and people start saying, 'Hey, Sarge,' and I get on the airplane and, 'Hey, Sarge,' and I get to the hotel, 'Hey, Sarge,' driver picks me, 'Hey, Sarge,' and I get to the hotel room, and the next day I go to sign my autograph and meet people and put them in a Cobra clutch and take pictures with them. I don't have any pain. It goes away.
Yeah. It's the adrenaline and the serotonin probably that your fans give you. So, Dad, that let's kind of segue back into Joefest.
Joefest.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, it was my first Joefest. You were not there last year because of Lou Ferrigno, who we were talking about earlier. Yeah. So how many times have you done Joefest, Dad?
I think this was my 4th year.
And are you going to be there next year?
Yes, I am. They've already asked me.
Nice.
Because of what happened the year before, I kept saying, "Yeah, I'm going to come," but what are the dates? Would never give me the dates, or give Paul, my manager, my booking agent, the dates. And we did a show, and we got to know Lou Ferrigno more and more and more. And he called his agent, called my agent, and, "Hey, I want to have you at our show." "Oh, great, Lou Ferrigno to the show." And about a month later, Joefest calls and said, "Here's the dates." And I said, "Okay." And I look in and said, "Oh," I had to call Paul and say, "Better take this one. I'm tagging you in. We're already booked." He said, "What do you mean we're already booked? Is that Lou Ferrigno?" He said, "Is that same weekend?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Jesus, they were supposed to let us know." So anyway.
Well, they did let you know. They were just a little too late. But you are going to be there next year, which is awesome. So I'll be going too. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
That was a really fun weekend. And it was definitely because of the people that were there. And the people that your fans that were there. They love you. Yes. Yep. There's the one group shot. There's Chad. Is Chad still here?
Yeah.
That's a great group shot of I think that's everybody. There's that's like the core group.
That wasn't everybody. That was just that was the group of people that we were with.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, I would say that's like the core group, wouldn't you say, Zazel?
Well, except we're missing Adam.
Yeah, where's Adam?
I think that's something that should happen every year. It should be like a family reunion, and add a couple more people. Maybe we could do the same thing we did for Zazel.
Yeah. Well, we added Chad in there. We photoshopped Chad in.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Adam wasn't in this picture. I would have had you put Adam in there, right in between Joe and my dad. You could have put him right there. Joe Ricondo.
Adam,
I'll do another one and add him in there.
Yeah.
Adam busier than crazy. I mean,
yeah. So I had one of the best times with all of these people, plus some people that aren't pictured. There's Crash, and there's Adam in there next to Hans. That's my Slaughter Daughter getup. I gotta wear the combat boots. I do have another outfit that I wore too that was like all black, and I don't think I have any pictures of that one.
I'm not sure. Let me have a look what else we got here.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
But there was a karaoke one night that was so fun. But that first night, Friday night, Dad, that's when we had dinner at the Marriott, and we came out and we walked into the bar, and there's all these Joefest people. And had a great time there. That's where we had dinner. There's Adam and Zoe and Paul and Dean and me and you.
Yeah.
We had dinner.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, that was fun. You had a bit to drink. I think I didn't put it in with the pictures, but there's a picture of Paul literally dragging you away.
It's more stand-up.
What's that?
I said we left there and went out to the bar, did a little stand-up out there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we had fun. You went from hugging Ken to then giving him the have the hugging picture.
Yeah.
So there's you and Ken.
Yeah.
Dad, you saw Ken, you gave him a big old hug.
Yeah.
And then you gave him the Cobra Clutch.
Yeah.
And Dad, look, there's Paul's hand in there going, Sarge, that's $20.
You know, Paul was desperately trying to get you away from there, and you were so close to the door, and then minutes later you walk up to the bar and grab yourself another drink. Like you were almost out.
That's right. Yeah.
That was a good time.
I was working.
There's with Adam Riches.
Yes.
He did the art. For people that don't know, he did the artwork on the Classified.
Yes.
Yes, I will never forget it either, Adam. It was a great night.
Good. Everybody comments on that cover. Let me tell you. I really enjoy signing it.
There's Adam as Sarge cosplaying you.
Yeah. Who's who in this picture?
Yeah, which one is which? Who's giving who the Cobra Clutch?
Yeah. So meeting Adam and his girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure. Is it wife or girlfriend?
Girlfriend, Zoe.
Girlfriend meeting. Sorry?
Zoe.
Zoe, yeah, meeting Zoe and Adam. Those two, what a power couple those are.
Yes.
Those two together. You can tell they're the artistic type. Adam, I went to his table and he just had so much great stuff out there. I contributed an action figure to his collection of action figures because I know what it's like to army build one character. And I also picked up a excellent print of Skymate, the Australian G.I. Joe that I had him sign for me. But Adam is a great guy.
Yes. And we both have dimples, part of the Dimple Club.
I didn't measure our dimples together, but good to hang out.
Yeah, it was good, and I really enjoyed getting to know both him and Zoe too. Yeah, it was a great evening. I definitely recommend it. I'm not a collector, and here I am at Joefest, and I'm like, what am I gonna do here? And I had the best time. The best time. I had so much fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, was that the
and
only?
Being able to meet Paul in person he's such a character in his own right. Yeah, it was good to meet everybody. Everybody in this picture was cool.
Yes.
We're thinking about, just doing a small dinner, maybe 12 people next year.
Well, that's going to be hard to determine who gets in there.
Gonna be
Also.
There's my buddies. There's Zazel and Gaz.
Yeah. But we're thinking about, first come, first serve. We're gonna have 12 tickets, maybe 16 at the most, and have a little dinner, get together, private party. That's gonna spill out into late night with the Sarge.
Oh, so you want to have a little party with your fans.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that does need to be like a small little elite. Are you going to like rent out a bar somewhere? What are you going to do?
Why not get a sponsor? There's got to be bars down that won't mind seeing a bunch of guys come over there and having a good time. Ladies, guys and ladies.
There you go. Oh, I think we lost Zazel.
It'd be a yearly thing. When I first saw Joefest on social media, it said, "We just finished Joefest. What a great time!" and blah blah blah. We can't wait to have another one. And so I got right on my telephone and returned a message to them and said, "How could you have a Joefest without Sgt Slaughter?" And I got immediate response, "What? This Sgt Slaughter? We want you to be at our show." Well, here's the number of somebody you can call to get me there next year. And that's how it all started.
Nice. Perfect.
It's growing and growing.
Yes. It was so Friday night we went to dinner, then we went to the bar and had a great time at the bar. That was the night that I kept laughing at everything and I annoyed some of the people I was with from laughing too much.
Oh, stop.
But I also was spitting drink out because people would make me laugh after I had a drink. And so I got some. There was a guy who walked up and said something to me, and I laughed, and spit came flying. Well, not spit. It was my drink came flying out, and he was like, "You just got that in my ear. It's an honor." Like an honor? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I did not mean to like spit all over you. Nonetheless, get it in your ear. But I did. I had a great time, and then Saturday,
You're Slaughter. You don't have to apologize
for spitting on someone.
No, you paid to do it.
I was not getting paid to do it.
Oh, did you do it? Did they make you laugh in their face? Did they say
all he did was say Lacey Evans, and I went all over.
I wasn't in charge of you that whole weekend. I'm hearing these things for the first time,
Right. Adam Riches said, I've been to many G.I. Joe cons, but getting to be there with you guys this year was truly something special. I agree, Adam.
Yeah.
Signing Sgt Slaughter figures alongside Sarge was surreal childhood wish fulfillment.
Tell me about it.
Right.
That was that's very nice, Adam, for you saying that, and I agree with you. It was an amazing weekend.
Would have been good to be next to each other.
That would have been cool.
Might be something to think about for next year.
Yeah. Or from this point on.
Yeah.
We could sell posters.
So, Dad, was Joefest different for you this year? Because it was my first one. I had a great time. It was really cool to see you interacting with your fans. I see you interact with your fans all the time, but usually it's not at a Joefest. It's like when we've been out to dinner. So to see you interact as we were, the times that I did get to see you was pretty cool. And I've said it before, like people shouldn't meet their heroes, but you're different because you do take the time to treat every fan and to give them your time very graciously. And time is a gift and it's valuable. And so you willingly give up your time for your fans. So was this Joefest different for you at all? Maybe because there was a really nice looking woman sitting next to you for part of the time?
Yeah, that's never happened. Yeah, it was pretty special to have you there and let you see what goes on in my world when I go out to meet my fans, things like that. Good to let you see how I interact with them, and you can see that you don't make everybody happy. Now, people would come up and ask Paul, or they would go around Paul and say, "Hey, Sgt Slaughter, can we get a picture?" And Paul would go, "No, you can't just take a picture with him. You got to stand in line over there." And they like, "Well, what do you mean?" Like it's just one of those things. You can't please some people. Go to these things thinking that uh, you do it for free. I would, if somebody wasn't looking, but I'm working for somebody. Try to make as much money as I can. But
Right.
the last person in line, like I treat the first person in line, and but you can't always make everybody happy. I see a lot of entertainers, not just in my field, but entertainers who close up their tables early at these cons or these signings and leave like an hour or two early. I've been sitting there where there's not a lot of people left, but I've got 15 more minutes on when I said I've stayed there that was contracted to be there till, and here comes somebody with family and said, "Oh, thank God you're here. We drove 3.5 hours to get here, and we thought it closed at 6, and here you're closing at 5, and we didn't know we were going to get here." And I was the only one there, basically. And they said, "Where are all the other people?" And I said, "They're gone." "Why are you here?" I said, "Because I'm still on the clock. I'm still supposed to be." So they were so grateful that I told Paul they'll charge. Yeah, charge. They drove 3.5 hours and almost got killed to come and get my autograph. I was the one that came to see first. But then they were wondering where everybody else was. But they couldn't believe that I was still there. So,
Yeah, you were definitely the last person, I think, on Saturday when they were closing everything down. And they like give a countdown, it's time to go, and then they give like another countdown, and it's like, we've been closed for 5 minutes, everybody needs to get out, and then, all right, it's been 10 minutes, everybody needs to go, and then it's, all right, vendors, we need you to start getting out and leaving. And so then when we finally walked out, Dad, they said, Sgt Slaughter is now leaving the building. If you are still here, you need to get out, because you were like the last one leaving.
I got away from the table and I sat at an empty table where people had already left. I keep my character on because I know I'm going to come. They're about
right.
Other vendors are going to come over and ask for a picture character for them. So I don't take it off till we're ready to walk out and Paul's all packed up, ready to go. So that's just the way I was taught by the wrestlers that taught me, and my mother and father, and the lessons that I went through, because I stood in line for 3 hours, told that story to beat Mickey Mantle. My friend and I were the last two to get up on the podium to meet him, and a guy came out whispered something in his ear, and Mickey looked around and got up and left. And we went, "Where's Mickey go? Where did Mickey go?" And we had our baseballs, we were going to get our baseball signed. And finally, here comes the guy that whispered in Mickey's ear, and he said, "Mickey's all done for today. Sorry." And we went, "What do you mean?" We weren't the only ones there, but we were the next ones. And a lot of people behind us were too happy. So there we were. So that's in my mind my whole life.
Right.
So when I started doing these things, if somebody's in line to meet me and wants my autograph or wants to take a picture with me or just say hello, I tell people, you don't have to buy anything from me. You want to come and say hello and talk. That's what the promoter pays me to be there. Now I got a guy that owns the table. He's trying to make as much money as he can. So I'm going to try to help him. I'm not going to say, no, don't charge everybody. Don't charge everybody. But my reason to be there is to meet my fans or fans that haven't met me, and I'm going to make a new fan out of them. But that's my job. That's what I do.
Dad, I was surprised actually at how many young kids, were fans of yours. And it was almost like I wanted to be like, how do you know who he is? And obviously it's because the parents are showing them G.I. Joe and probably old wrestling stuff too. But so I thought that was cool because it's like the whole family gets involved into the love of G.I. Joe and the love of like collecting and all of that. So I thought that was really cool to see how many little kids.
There's so many stories I could tell you. And just what's funny is they can't even see over the top of the table. They're looking at you, and all you see is their top of their eyes, bottom of their. Give you a big smile, and they, "Hey, I saw you," and they're not afraid of me. They know who I am. "Hey, Sart." And I look behind them, and of course, there's grandma and grandpa, or there's mom and dad, or there's aunt and uncle. This was my hero. This was my hero when I was your age. And you look and you go, Jesus, how far back did this go?
I can't possibly be that old.
Yeah. I get elderly people come to me and go, "Hey, I watched you when I was young." Wait a minute. Anyway, it's crazy. It's why I love it. Why I'm not retiring. But else I do. Wish I was there. Might as well enjoy.
Yeah. So yeah, Joefest, if you haven't been, you definitely should go. You may not have the same experience that I did because I loved it. I wasn't there to collect. I was there to like spend time with my dad, have a bonding experience with my dad, but also to hang out with people that I only met through a screen and only talked to through a screen. So and people that I consider friends, and it was a very cool, and everyone was nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there wasn't like, there was one jerk there. No, there was two. There was one guy who I'd been on a show with and together, and he was there, and we were at the bar one night, and he walked by me to go to the bathroom, and I didn't know that's what he was doing, but I was like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And I like tried to give him a hug, and it was like really quick and kind of like, "Oh, I gotta go," and left. And I was like, "Fuck you. You had the pleasure of me talking to you and like wanting to give you a hug and be friendly, and you're gonna like basically tell me to fuck off. You can go fuck yourself." Yeah, yep. That guy. Huh?
You're just supposed to think those things and not say it out loud.
Well, I mean, I think maybe he's got like this really big ego, and I don't really think he should have. I don't know. I wasn't that much of a fan of him to begin with, and then when he did that, I was like, yeah, that's bye.
Yeah.
Boy, bye. Anyway, I do have a habit of saying things and regretting them later.
No. Come on.
You're not supposed to regret things though, right? Because it's supposed to be like a learning experience. You learn from them. I don't always learn from them. I just keep
Exactly.
doing the same thing. Yeah.
No regrets.
Yeah, no regrets.
No regret.
Anyway, yeah. But other than that guy being an asshole, everybody else was very nice, and hopefully that guy won't be there next year, and I won't have to look at him. So.
Fair enough. Actually, I do want to say, while I've got both of you here, I want to thank you both for allowing me to stay in your homes, welcoming me as a guest, and not treating me as a weird, super fan that's come over from Australia. I felt super welcome. I felt as if I was, part of the furniture. It was just an absolute great experience to be able to spend personal time with you both. Kelly, I know you opened up your home, you and your family, and I want to thank you and your family for having me there. I'm sure that for some of the family, it must have been weird to have some strange man staying in their house for a week, and I appreciate that. Super appreciate it. More than you'll know, I appreciate it. And Sarge, welcoming me into your home for a couple of nights there and letting me check out the Remus Roost and go through some of your epic collectibles. And also one of the most surreal moments that I had while being at your house was we're just sitting there in the lounge room, and you go, "I bet you've never seen this before," and you put on Teen Titans Go. I think it's Teen Titans Go. And there was an episode of you doing the voice of the Dr. Military. And it was an unbelievable moment to be sitting there with you while watching a cartoon with you in it. And every so often I'm just turning around and looking at you going. But I didn't hear anything negative because I went around to the Sarge table probably more than anybody else there at Joefest. If I wasn't first in line, I was, at least chatting with people in the line, and people would come up to me knowing that I was a Sarge fan, and they would also tell me that they had a great experience with you, whether it was the drunken nights after Joefest, or whether it was in the line talking to you, or even just meeting other fans. Everyone had an amazing time. And same with you, Kelly. People are always saying things like, "It was great to meet Kelly," and fun. You're more what's the word? Not relatable. You're more approachable in person than I think sometimes you give off in some of your this space, basically. And I was like, yeah, you know how to party, you know how to have a good time.
Who, my dad you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about you, Kelly, this time. People are saying you're not relatable, approachable. You're more approachable in person than the persona of, Slaughter daughter, the badass bitch.
Damn it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
What?
He really killed that character. Well, it's still a character. Now you're going to have to be the villain.
Yeah, you got to do a heel turn.
I can still be nice to people and still be a badass when I need to be.
Oh, that's true, too.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's the way I am. I've always been that way. I can back up what I say.
So can I.
So I know there's a lot of drill instructors, drill sergeants, and other military drill instructors that look at me and go, "He's a good representative."
Yeah, well, like Chad said, he held every drill instructor and sergeant that he came came in contact with to you, up to your standards.
Right. And, when they know that not only do I talk the talk, but I walk the walk, and I can back up talk, and always have. So what better representative could they have than Sgt Slaughter? Drill Instructor Slaughter. Say that 3 times fast.
Well, Zazel, let me just say that it was a pleasure to have you in my home. Everyone that met you at the party that I've seen since then, all ask about you, and
that's nice.
I'll say very nice things about you and just how kind of a person and what a good man you are. And I'm like, Zazel, No, and I think I told you this already, but my son said, Zazel, he's such a nice man. I'm really going to miss him when he.
Oh, that's nice.
So you are missed around here. And what, Dad?
He was the only one that said that.
Thanks.
We think he was hallucinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, who am I going to get to come work out with me?
Yeah.
Not me.
No, well, you did come and work out.
One and done. One and done.
That hungover guy.
I thought those Aussies could drink.
Hungover guy. Come on. There.
So it was a pleasure to have you here. It was nice to hang out in person.
Yeah.
Had a great time until the Slim Jim incident.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about that if you want to talk about that on your because I know tomorrow you are doing. No, is it Saturday?
So tomorrow will be Cobra Convergence 7, where we're talking about Sgt Slaughter's Renegades, because we're talking all things espionage and spy. So the Renegades are going to get a live discussion. Me and Hooded Cobra Commander are teaming up to discuss the Renegades. We might have a few people pop in as special guests, depending on who's available. And then the day after that, so that'll be Saturday night for you guys in the USA, for Sunday for me here in Australia. I'm doing my Joefest and America and Canada story. So I'm going to go deep diving with Space Commander, and we're going to talk about the lead up to Joefest, so hanging out with Kelly and all the things that she put me through, some of the therapy that I have to go to now because of it. And then talking about leading up to Joefest, going hanging out with Sarge, going to Hooters. I'll say that was definitely a surreal experience. First time, but a great time. Hooters and shooters with the Sarge. Oh, brilliant. And then we'll be talking about Joefest. We'll be talking about what happened after Joefest. We'll be talking about Canada. And we'll talk about some of the aftermath of Joefest too, because things got weird after Joefest. And I'll be bringing up a bit of that too, see if we can't get to the bottom of it.
Things got weird.
Things did get a bit weird. Things definitely got a little bit weird after Joefest. But yeah, this isn't the platform to go into that, but we'll definitely be bringing it up on Saturday night. So come and check us out.
What a great segue.
Right? So
anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed having you and your friends in my home that came down from Canada. And
yes, Adam and his wife
brought those beautiful Sgt Slaughter cookies, and we had a wonderful Chinese dinner.
That was a buffet.
Oh yeah, there was so much left over.
Yeah,
I am missing a couple of my fish. I was wondering if you might. But
it wasn't me.
I just went out sushi eating, and I thought maybe you got one of my.
I got a taste for raw fish.
Are they even good to eat?
I don't.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know any better.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. You are, from Australia and all.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much more you guys have to go here, but I just got the low power thing come up on my phone, and I don't want to get blocked off. I didn't know how much longer you guys were going to go, but I might have to sign off in about 5 minutes.
All right. Well, I think we are pretty much wrapping up. We have been at it for 2 hours now. Well, for you, for like an hour and a half because you were late. Dad.
You want to ask Hazel one thing quick. If I can't see these shows you're going to be doing, how do I get to see them? How do myself and your audience that's not able to see them live, how do we get to see the replay? And yours too.
Well, so if you subscribe to Sgt Slaughter's Slaughterhouse on YouTube, you can either watch them live or watch them after the fact. I know that you've got a busy weekend this weekend, Sarge, so you probably won't be able to tune in. Do say hi to Lou Ferrigno for me, though.
I will.
Put the Hulk in a Cobra clutch. Let him know. Let him know that. What's that?
I plan on it. That, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm getting him one.
So on Sgt Slaughter's Slaughterhouse YouTube channel will be Cobra Convergence 7, and the day after will be my specific Joefest experience and what it was like to hang out with Kelly and Sgt Slaughter, the raw truth, what I really think. Check it out. Spoiler alert, you're both very lovely, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing about how things got weird. So, Dad.
Yes.
And everybody. So I changed up my workup routine where I'm doing more lifting now, and I've really never lifted to see. Hey, Ryan. I've never really done heavy lifting. I've done weightlifting classes and things like that, but thanks, Ken.
Thanks, buddy.
And so I'm just now kind of trying to figure out how strong I am. Do you know how much I bench pressed on Tuesday, I think?
You?
Yes.
I would have said, me. Geez, I've never. 100 pounds?
105.
Wow.
30 times because I do 10.
30 times?
10, yeah. I do 10 times 3. So I do 10 and then rest and then do 10 and rest and 10 and rest. And I really didn't get that tired until 28, 29, and 30. So next week, I'm going to try for 130 pounds.
Why are you going fast?
Well, does anyone happen to know what Lacey Evans' build weight is?
Oh, no. Every time I Google her, you come up, so I can't find any information on her.
Kelly, you don't have to work out to beat her.
I could beat her now.
Oh, I know you can. But
if I lift 130 pounds, I want to be so. I can bench press you, Lacey Evans. A couple times. Yeah. I can also throw you out of the ring. Anyway, thank you very much. I squatted 100 pounds today, and I could have done a lot more. What?
I said, that's amazing, but more reps is better than heavier weight.
Well, I have a personal trainer, and right now we are working. We have this one program, and we'll do that for a certain amount of time, and then we'll change things up. So
let me ask you a question. You can answer it, or you don't have to answer it. When you're going up with those weights, and you're getting to where it's down almost the last one, are you thinking about Lacey Evans when you're getting that last one up there?
Yeah, and I usually am going.
In trouble.
Oh boy,
in trouble.
So the last tweet that I was going to tweet her, and then Sheik died, so I didn't do it because out of respect for Sheik, but Zazel knows this because he was there.
I'll take you
I
over.
was going to say, you better be careful what you wish for, little girl, because she said, if you want the campaign cover, come and get it. So my response to that was, you better be careful what you wish for, little girl, because 1, 2, Kelly's coming for you.
Gonna get a little Caton song going.
Yeah, I would love to do it, but this one over here won't give his blessing.
No, you want to kick her ass? Go kick her ass. But I think that she answered you in character.
Right. Oh, I'm talking to her in character, kind of.
I don't know.
She's gonna stay in character to the last second.
But which character is she? Because she's had so many. I'm just not sure which one.
Burn.
She's answering.
I don't know what character she's in. I don't even watch SmackDown anymore because she's on it, and I just don't understand. She hasn't used the Cobra Clutch in a while because she hasn't won a match. And she's kind of going downhill. You know what I mean? She's unless they're thinking I'm going to come waltzing in, after she loses everything but her fatigues.
Well, the thing is that they asked you.
Yeah.
They asked you to manage her. They said, we can't figure out what to do with her because we can't get her over. And so they asked you to do it, and you turned them down. And that's when I feel like it all should have ended, was there with the whole bringing the Sgt Slaughter part of it in. If you could go with the military thing.
Right. Yeah.
But
well, they had high hopes, but why should I take a cut in pay?
Right. She needs you more than you need them.
Exactly. I'm doing just fine where I'm at.
Yep.
But I think it would be a great storyline for me to come in there and get my family legacy back from her. I'm just saying, WWE, I know you're all watching right now, so I'm just saying. Give me a chance. Let me come and train, Dad. Let me go train.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what their answer is.
Because they're all watching.
Yeah, they think they better get me back to put you in training. They might take that offer.
Yeah. Hey.
I'll say this, Sarge. Kelly took me to the YMCA and showed me one of her classes, and I had to go
from one of my classes. It was the class that I teach. I just wasn't teaching that class.
Right. So
yes.
She teaches that class, but she was like participating on this day. I went from the front of the class to the back of the class very quickly. I could not keep up. I was like, nope. Like, I didn't leave. I continued, but I was like, I am not being up front. I'm going to go to the back and try and keep up as best as I can. But yeah, Kelly was nailing it all. Nailing it. And I'm like, well, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were 30 seconds in.
30 seconds in, and I was like, I'm going to the back.
I was like, wait, what? Do you want me to come with you? Wait, hold on. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I think you thought I was like leaving.
You were like, I can't, I gotta go. And I was like, well, and you were like, no, you stay. And I was like, okay. And then I did see you in the mirror that you were back there. And I was like, oh, good. I'm glad that he stayed.
I just set up in the back, and so I wasn't in front of everybody that could keep up. There was a guy that was using a chair in order to prop himself up, and he was doing better than me.
But he's there all the time. He's there all the time.
Yeah,
he's my buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about your run, your Spartan run?
The Savage race. We are. I think we're gonna try to do it with Cambry. We're gonna schedule it with Cambry.
Oh, for that too.
Yeah.
So these are the two best medallions that I got.
Wow.
I only got one of these though. I earned a couple of these.
For somebody that was hung over the whole trip, you did pretty well.
Yeah, hungover and jet lagged, and yeah, amongst other things, I'm glad, Kelly. I've got to say this, and sorry to the people that are in the chat. I'll be delicate about this, but I got to say I'm glad that my digestive issues were after the Savage race, because if it was before, it would have been a whole different experience.
You literally would have been shitting yourself.
Yeah, but this. I'm looking forward to going to a deep dive with you and Canberry about the Savage race. I've got some people to thank for that too. So we'll go into that a bit later. But I will say this, Sarge, that it was a fun experience, and I'm glad that I got to do it with Kelly Slaughter daughter Remus, because that was an eye opener in itself.
You're a gimmick. You're an official.
Yes.
I'll be a Zerk.
I'll be cool.
Why? Because he likes me? He thinks I'm a good person?
Go through.
Gaz posted a picture of me and said something about meeting Kelly Slaughter daughter. And I was like, man, I hear she's a bitch.
That's our boy Gaz there. Such a legend.
Yes. And such a nice guy, too. There's two really nice guys in that picture there, and then a bitch.
I think Gaz is the best of us all. He's a
Yeah.
true gentleman, and never has a mean thing to say about anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love that guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He made sure that nobody messed with me, and I got back to my room safely.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
That's for you, Gaz.
Yeah.
Little thumb kiss. Dad, you got to do a thumb kiss to Gaz.
Okay.
So, don't stick it in your mouth.
That'll do.
No, kiss.
That's it. You did it.
We do like this. That's this wrestling kiss.
Nice. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we go? We're getting ready to lose Sarge. He's got low battery. Are we good to? Yes, you do, Ryan. You've got the first autographed Slaughter daughter figure, and Hans got the first signed headshot.
Oh,
nice.
Wow. I also heard that Marky Potter enjoyed his package that was sent.
Yes.
Yeah.
That finally was sent. That was supposed to be sent in like March.
I think it's better that we held off, though, because we got to throw in one of these for Mark, which I know that he's super appreciated. I know one day Mark Potter will get one of these in real life. I've got faith of that.
Be a Cobra clutch.
I just had the best idea, Zazel. Let's get you and Mark Potter to Joefest next year.
Yeah.
If there's a way that if Mark Potter can get there in any way, shape, or form, that would be a win. That would be a huge win.
If you guys could swim the first leg, that would help out.
Can you pick us up in the Triple T?
There you go, Triple T.
I just got another message that I'm about ready to lose power here. So
All right.
Sure, you know why.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Was there any questions that came in, Zazel?
Nothing here that I can see yet.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Dad, thanks for joining us. Zazel, as always, thanks for all your help with everything. I miss having you here, man. I miss having you say good day, mate, to everybody.
Well, whenever you need a good day, mate, you just let me know and I'll send one your way.
All right. Sounds good.
Now you know.
And now you know. Bye, everybody.
Yo, Joe.
Where's the video?
Get a Cobra clutch and get a coin. That's it.
You're dismissed, Lacey.
Don't make me for you.
Slaughter daughter, the badass.